Working capital, right? Working capital is, well, what's capital? It's cash. It's cash that you can work with. What do you have to work with? Hopefully, a lot. Hopefully, you personally have a lot to work with, right? Keep your working capital up. Working capital policy management, everything we're going to go through here, different metrics and formulas and ratios that essentially tell you how well you're doing managing your working capital, right? It's important to manage your capital or your cash to meet short-term obligations. It's an ongoing process. Money never sleeps. You got to keep going. All right. So in addition to cash, we also talk about current assets and liabilities. You can turn something into cash pretty quick. You might as well consider it cash, cash and cash equivalents, inventory, all that good stuff. The main goal of a firm is to maximize shareholder wealth, and in order to help to do that, well, it's probably important to manage cash. You don't want to pay a lot of interest. You want to be able to invest your money. You want to, as a firm, understand how well you're doing and where you can make changes. You need to make sure that you can meet your long-term and short-term debts. We'll talk about debt covenants, bank covenants. Each industry, whether it's airline, telecom, manufacturing, they all have different optimal mixes of current assets and current liabilities. Some are more asset heavy, some are more liability heavy, some are more equity heavy. Each industry is different, and there's different reasons why that is the case. The volume, timing, and investment of idle cash are all crucial in cash collection and cash management. Just as a note, there are plenty of companies out there, such as Google and Microsoft. They sit on insane piles of cash. They sit on like $80 million, $80 billion of cash, some crazy amount of money. It's probably more than billions. I said million. I corrected myself there. And why do they do that? Well, first, it's just good to have cash, right? You can act on something. You don't need to get approved for a loan. You can just immediately buy up some investment that you want. You can pay down debts, right? You can do whatever you want with that cash. The downside to just holding cash is, well, you're not doing anything with it. Now, I guarantee you, these large companies are probably doing something with their cash, right? They're probably using it, getting a crazy amount of interest. Somehow, they're doing something high interest. They're collateralizing it. In some way, they're doing something. Now, right, managing that cash, timing it, collecting it properly. Because if you are a super heavy, let's say a manufacturing client, you're building things for other customers, right? You want to collect that cash properly. We're going to talk about making sure that you utilize discounts in terms of you using them and offering them to your customers. This is all critical in cash collection and cash management. Cash is king. Cash is important. Lastly, working capital policy or management includes techniques that maximize cash balances, such as managing float. This is just managing floating money, right? Managing money so that I send you a check. And why would I still use a check in this day and age? Well, because technically I did pay you on, let's say today, but you don't get the check for 3 days. So that float, maybe it's a check for $10 million. It takes you 3 days to get the $10 million. That's 3 days more that I have $10 million. That's pretty important. Incentivizing quicker payments from customers, right? Maybe it's worth it for you to give them a discount to pay you in order to get that cash quicker, and you can invest it and do something great with it. Using cash flow analyses to coordinate cash inflows and outflows. All right, if you can make a cash flow schedule for the future, you can budget well, and you won't really have to worry. Like when cash is coming in, when cash is going out, and there's significant power there. I've worked with clients and with companies to do that, and yeah, it's kind of amazing what you can do when you know how much cash is coming in and going out, and you can know that for the weeks going to the future. We want to reduce risk with overdraft systems. We don't want to go negative cash. And compensating balances, this is where the bank requires you to keep a certain amount of money in the bank. For example, I opened up a Bank of America account in college. They had the ATM on campus, and I haven't never closed it, but they make me keep $25 in there to maintain the account. Now, I'm not at the point where $25 is going to make or break me. Sometimes it may seem that way, but that's a compensating balance where they force you to keep money in there as a minimum, right? Otherwise, they'll charge you a fee. Maybe I should close that account. I don't know. If anyone out there works for Bank of America, if you could give me a little discount so I don't have my extensive $25 locked up That would be super nice of you, and I would be eternally grateful. So thank you in advance.
Hey there! Are you ready to not only pass your CPA exams, but truly understand and enjoy the material while studying? I know it seems impossible, right? Especially to enjoy the material? We'll do it together. Tap into the power of CPA.Examprep.ai, where we've got personalized quizzes, multiple choice questions, memorization guides, flashcards, simulations, all tailored to your learning. Our adaptive study planning puts you on the fastest path to success and lifts you back up if you fall behind. Avoid wasting your precious time and money attempting an exam with a low chance of passing, because who wants that? We want to get you through this process as quick as possible. Our exam readiness prediction lets you walk in with confidence, knowing that you're prepared for success on exam day. Thankfully, there's no payment method needed to get started, so why don't you come join us? Visit cpa.examprep.ai and let's achieve your exam success together.